Hey folks, welcome back. It's Lucid, and we've got about 3 turns for you here. I hope to get through in this episode. Some pretty cool stuff. So we're teleporting on this army to start with, and this is probably the biggest of the Marinese armies left. And they're not really scripted to do much. I think they can maybe make some baby fire elementals, or maybe do Phoenix power. I was kind of expecting imps to make it so I don't necessarily finish my script. But you can see we are quite immune. The crossbows are the only things here causing a bit of damage, I think. Well, we might have taken a little bit of damage, but these glaives can hurt too, but... we do get fatigued out as well, because we're in cold. And that's how that goes. We found a magic site, an enchanted gate, which is really nice. We really need some astral income. We want to do things like make rings of wizardry and all that jazz, but yeah, we don't start off with a native astral income. So really good to go ahead and find our first pearl site. We're not going to be doing remote site searching. I don't think. We might do a little bit in thrones and like wastelands. But in general, it's not going to be worth it. Especially when we're thinking about like 10 turns from now, will it pay back? Remote site searching is probably not going to. And that's when we're going to need to make some of like artifacts and things like that too. So not 10 turns, but probably 15. Anyhow, let's keep moving. Marignon attacks us here. And they are successful. I think I can't remember what happens here. There's just such a budget little squad, and he's got a few guys doing fireball, and the fireballs are working pretty well. And they clear out the front line, and then while they're doing that, these guys are getting hit with heat shock. And it's not just the fire damage. Well, it kind of is just. Oh, there's a decent amount of fatigue damage you can see here getting applied as well. Well, we managed to rout these guys, but then sadly we rout too. So this is pretty close to working for us. Kill some of the palace guard, which is important because he's doing some budget raiding, and if we get these budget raiders even a bit beat down, he's not going to be able to do much. Sadly, Starfires kills the commander here, who has higher HP than the rest, so he gets targeted. But hilariously, one of the things I mentioned is that... where was it? Oh, here in Deep Mount. That the trolls may attack, there's like a 70% chance, and indeed they do. So this is the squad that just beat me, sniped the commander. And now they have to fight these trolls. And these trolls are tough, man. They don't care about your stinking protection. These trolls have a very big great club that does 34 damage. And doesn't look like they're going to get the mages, but we'll accept that. They might have gotten one of the mages. No, they didn't get the mages, but yeah, they killed that raiding squad. So we did end up pulling our PD out of there however much we could. I was going to do a bit more of a PD dump, which wouldn't have done anything since they would have just sniped my commander with astral fires anyhow. So anyway, that all ended up working out kind of fine. Some events, people are restless and left. People moved in there, and then we have a Dominion change, which for us is actually kind of a good event. We'll get some of our shit Dominion out of this province. And then the Guard of Midgard has been vanquished. So Man, our northern neighbor, is now a free agent again, and he's probably the biggest on the map at the moment, because he's outright won his first war. He got all the land from it. So, yeah. And now, with Arco on top of this fort, we're going to be moving to end this war very quickly. So, our god is going to be coming up here. We're going to have this squad coming over this way. And we're going to have this squad moving over this way, and then we'll be jumping on this fort. So this will hopefully be all over within like 5 turns or less. And I think the idea is our god, we probably want to go ahead and get her back in the lab. We might site search as we go. I kind of want to have, the things I want my god to be doing are blood hunting. I think I don't really want her researching, but she can do a little bit of site searching, but mostly I want her blood hunting, and unless we have something for her to jump on. Utgard has also attacked here as well on Falegra. I do not envy Falegra. I came up with a kit that would be able to kill a stack like this. But it's not pleasant. I don't like it. Basically it's defense stacking. But it can only kill about 150 Garms. If he gets up to like 200, we can't kill that many before the battle times out, and it's very likely our god dies. Because we get surrounded by Garm herdings, they're berserked, so they don't run. So when the battle times out, our god actually can't escape. And then she will die with all the Garm herdings left. So we've got a plan to deal with them. But even little things can mess that plan up too, like Skelly spam and stuff like that. But is what it is. We're continuing to attack. We're continuing to site search as we wander around. We've got some Astral Mages now we're deploying with the intent of finding some more Astral sites. And I think that's it for this turn. We'll see you in turn 24. All right, turn 24. We found a magic site. Tower of the Seven Tombs. This is actually kind of nice. It's a Death 2 site that also lets us take a Death Mage and summon a Dustwalker. And Dustwalkers are pretty good units. I'll show you one next turn, because I do believe... Wait, did I not assign somebody to do it? I should have. Yeah, I should have. I don't know if I did or not. But we definitely want to do it. I'll check my current turn and see if we're doing it. My current turn's the next turn. But aside from that, 2 Death Gems is huge. Like, it's absolutely enormous. So we're going to have 9 Death Gems there, and then we're going to have 10 once we take this back, which has one of our Death and Nature Gems present. So this turn, we took this with our god. This actually is kind of funny to watch because there's a few mages, and our god is really slow, so we just like slowly waddle across the map. Yep. The mages are like, no, we got this. And we have a little battle here. I'm not even sure. I feel like our scripting's bad here. I'm just looking at it. I'm like, our scripting's bad. I'm really not even sure what I'd change, though. So we lose 3 crossbowmen, 2 sacred serpents, and 1 tomb worm. Take out his stuff. A little bit of PD, a few guys. I mean, Marignon's dead. I really like that they tried to fight this off. This right here is why it's very hard to beat Marignon right now. He's fighting 2 nations with Awake Titans, or well, Awake or Dormant Titans that are very good against Scales armies. Which is very hard. We took this. They had a little bit of stuff here. Well, watch this. This is kind of the last of the Marinese stuff dying. Probably not a great province to do a last stand in, just because fighting in a cave, we've got tomb worms, which have dark vision. Probably would have been better putting those guys inside the fort, but it works out okay for me. And fortunately for me, this site, this province has a lot of really good sites. It's got a great silver mine and a lava lake. So that's super nice. So we're going to take these guys, we're going to go on top of this fort, and these guys we're going to send in here along with these dudes. And I tried to script this guy. I guess I didn't bring over my my finished turn. I put this guy on attack, and I put him at the front. Everybody else is on hold and attack. But these guys I have on attack, but I put them behind. And the idea is this guy runs in and dies. These guys are going to be really helpful for killing the trolls. But I want them to kill the trolls for me. I don't really need them after that. But I would like to get the flambeau off. And I'd like to get this. So that's why we're scripting him to die. It'll make us no longer have the mercs, but that's okay. We're going to site search here with our god. It's just a mountain, which is reasonably high gem income. And I don't really have anything better to do. We could move the god here and then have the god blood hunt. But we'll see. Ulm has contacted me this turn. He seems to be winning. He and Phlegra seem to be winning the war against Vaettiheim. Vaettiheim's cap is right here. And they're all up in this shit. And Vaettiheim had a huge loss against Phlegra a couple turns ago. Can't remember if I shared that with y'all, but I think the bull killed, like, I just saw a battle report. It's like 80 dead Rim Vetti and a bunch of other stuff too. So, really good win by Phlegra. And I want Vetti out of the game so badly. Like, these Illwinter casters, I'm not very excited about. Given we're relying more on, like, Tomb Worms, and our mages are kind of just support, and they're potentially going to be able to cast Drain Life, it's not as huge of a deal, but it's still pretty bad. We don't want the world turning to cold. So I'm definitely inclined to see Ulm win, but Man has ended their nap with Ulm, and that's going to make it hard for Ulm to finish off Vaettiheim, which is something I want Ulm to do. So my options are, like, I could stab Man. Man's being played by Kosk, who's a pretty good player. So I could end the nap with Man, but then I'd have to fight him. There's some upsides, like, he has wizards, it looks like, so it'd be cool to recruit them. But I don't really want to fight them right now. And I think they're going to be friendly with me. I think they don't want to fight me. And ideally, Ulm would kill a lot of Man's stuff on my behalf. Basically, I don't want to fight Man. But what I don't want to have happen is I don't want Vaettiheim to survive out of all of this. Because with Utgard attacking Phlegra, Phlegra's probably not going to be able to kill Vaettiheim. And with Ulm attacking, or with Man attacking Ulm, Ulm's not going to be able to kill them. So, he's courting me to come help, and I'm like, I don't really know what I can do. I sent him a message in Discord this turn asking if I can take this. And he says not only can I have this, but he can give me this throne too, because he's not going to be able to defend the throne from Man. And I say, all right. I accept that. So anyway, I'm going to be getting both of these and helping him out by at least taking these forts out of play, and I can send him some golden gem income from this province at least. So we'll see. I think that's it for this turn. Not too much else to talk about. Let's go ahead and go to my current turn, which is turn 25. And here we go, turn 25. Did we get Dustwalker here? I can show you. Yeah, so this is a Dustwalker, before I forget. They have firepower, which is kind of cool. We're in, well, I guess we're only in Fire 1 right now, but their stats get really good in Heat 3. They have decent base protection, and they have Pierce resistance. They're just pretty solid. I think they're definitely worth a Death Mage turn. They have a Heatar as well. So, you know, a stack of 15 of them will go a long way. You know, that's... They can raid well, but yeah, no, I'm happy to have these in my army. I do have to be careful about where I position them with this Heatara, but very happy to have them. And they mix it in some ways pretty well with my Fate Weaving dudes, just because Fate Weaving is going to make Heatara work better. So if they're like intermixed, that could be kind of cool. We cast Summon Tomb King, so we got another Tomb King. We are up to 4 Tomb Kings here, with one of them being a Holy 4. So this is 9 worms a turn we're going to be getting. Before this, we were getting 7. So you can see there's 7 here. You can kind of see each of the summonings. They get spread out in order. So that's significant. 9 a turn is pretty good. And this is really just to hold us through until we can get Construction 8 and turn on our real superpower, which you can see we're aiming for. We're going to get Enchantment 5, so that we'll be in range of rushing to Rigor Mortis if we think we need to get it. And then we're heading for Construction 8. We bid, I didn't mention this last time, I bid for a lot of the mercs here. Nobody's really trying to get them anymore because people want to use gold for other things. But I need to take this Veti Fort, which I didn't mention, but part of my decision making was this has sages. And I would really love to get more Astral Mages. I really hate using these Astral 1 guys to like go back. Because I'm already site searching everything with Death 3, Earth 1, Fire 1. Having to come back behind them and do it with an Astral 1 feels horrible. Now, where I can, I'm going to try to not have them in the same province, or like I'll try to site search up, like the Earth 1 hadn't been here, so we're site searching this first. But ultimately, I want to site search for Earth and Astral, and with my current mage lineup, that means I have to send two Sauramancers to each province, which sucks a lot. So this will be sick for that. They're also amazing researchers. So we'll take the fort, we'll upgrade it to a citadel, we'll be getting 1.5 sages a turn, and these guys research like madmen, and that's going to be really nice for helping us get to Construction 8. So yeah, we're going to be going on top of this with the mercs we got. These little boars are actually pretty good against goblins too, if the goblins show up. And we jumped on top of this fort. We lost 1 Tomb Worm to an unlucky dice roll. One of these city guard popped him right in the face for like 20 damage. Or twice for 20 damage, because they have 40 hit points. So, very unlucky we lost one. But fortunately, we just barely, because it's 100 wall integrity and we got 107 strength, we just barely one turn popped to this fort. So that is very fortunate. And we're going to be storming it. And what's even more fortunate than that is we got Earthblood Seepage here and a Murdering Mire, which is going to put us up to 11 Death Gems a turn. And the other thing that's very fortunate is we found some magic sites. Here, this is this province that's kind of over near Bogaroos, that had previously had a copper deposit and an iron deposit. We now have a hidden gold mine giving us 100 gold a turn. And we have Chasm of Strange Lights giving us a pearl and an earth gem, things we desperately need. So that is amazing. Truly amazing. And we found yet another site with our god. We found the Chamber of Enchantment, and that gave us a free lab, which turns out to be very important for this turn, and an Enchantment 20 discount. And this is exactly what we need. What it is going to do is it's going to take Revive Tomb King, which we're doing a ton of, and it's going to make it, instead of costing 23, I believe it will cost 18, though it may be 19. I have to see how it does the rounding. But I think it's 18. So that's actually kind of huge. I mean, yeah, it's super sick. We're going to be getting 18 gem Tomb Kings. And what that means is we're going to be up at 11 gems a turn. So it's basically every other turn we're going to be getting a Tomb King. That's pretty nice. Pretty darn nice. We'll be pretty close to that. Now, Ulm has moved off this fort. Man has moved up here, taking this from Calum. And Man is going to be attacking Ulm. Ulm has given me this, but now Man's checking it. They have a couple more turns on their nap. I'm going to go ahead and take it this turn. So we're casting Arouse Hunger at it. This has 6 PD in it. I'm going to go ahead and take it this turn. And you can see we're attacking vaettiheim with the sages, right? So we've got the tramplers, we got the monkeys, we got these guys. But I'm not going to just poke the goblins. For me, I don't want to piss off the goblins unless they're dead, right? And the best way to make them dead is they have an army here that has about 30 Rimveti, about 90 I'll just pull up this so that those of you who don't know all the units. They've got, I think, 20 or 30 Rim Veti. They've got 90 Herd Veti, which are these guys. And then they've got about 20 Berserkers, which are these guys. And then they have 10 Veti Gaijas and 1 Veti Yod. So that's what's in the army. They don't, right now they're only doing animate skeleton. They're not doing raised skeleton, horde skeletons, or anything like that. So we're going to YOLO in with our god. Now there's a lot of risks. This is cold 3. Our god is cold-blooded. We'll fatigue out. But hopefully we can get off Soul Vortex, Body Ethereal, Personal Regen, Invulnerability, Astral Shield. Hopefully we can get most of these things off. They are not going to be able, I don't think. So here's questions. Will they curse my god? They could. They could do it through Spirit Curse, but they could also do it through like the Astral Nature Curse spell. Right, so that's a question. Will they curse my god? Probably. I'm kind of counting on it. Not counting, but I've accepted it. So they've cursed him. Or they'll likely curse him. The other thing is they may Skelly spam her, where she will definitely kill all the troops. Because she's gonna, her script, Soul Vortex is gonna be really good. We're not fighting in Dominion, so we won't get the benefit of whatchamacallit, of Fate Weaving, but it'll still be pretty good. The problem is there's probably going to be enough undead where they turn timer the battle on us, and because we're attacking, we'll run first. We'll be surrounded, so we'll probably take it to the full turn timer where they run. But when they run, the undead will start disappearing, and it's maybe around 50-50 whether we get off before all the undead have disappeared. If we get off and we have to run, we need a place to run. So there's only one PD here, and we're hitting this province with Arouse Hunger. There's a small chance this Ranger of Ulm snipes the leader of the Arouse Hunger cast. So I'm very hopeful that doesn't happen, but it might. But if I kill the ground army here, then Veti's pretty much toast. They don't really have much more of an army left, and that will allow Ulm to finish them off. And it's also going to mean, because let me put it this way, if Utgard, who has now moved this army onto Falegra, if Utgard beats Falegra, they're going to get a lot of stuff. I would like to get the Veti spoils, and I may have Arco wait while I finish conquering Vaettiheim. So my operating assumption is this. Utgard is going to conquer Falegra. I've asked Falegra, I've sent them a note saying that I'm going on a Veti stack to help them. I hope you have ideas for dealing with Utgard's Doom stack. If you want to brainstorm, let me know. I really want Falegra to win the war. I don't like having cold nations near me, etc. So, but I don't think they're going to. I think they're going to lose to Utgard. And if Utgard wins, I don't want them to get these spoils. So I think Utgard eats Falegra. Man, Vaettiheim, I think, will... even though I kill this army, or kill most of it, and hopefully I don't lose my god. There's probably at least a 20% chance I lose my god. But I think this is important enough to do that I do it. So Veti loses this army here. Ulm causes more damage, raiding and whatever, but I don't think Ulm is ultimately going to kick Vaettiheim out. I think Man is going to come in here and conquer Ulm. I've been brainstorming with Ulm how to fight Man. And basically what I've told Ulm is that, look, it's kind of a weird matchup because Man has way better troops in general than you do. Just as a matchup, not their troops are better in all cases, but Zweihanders are going to get picked apart by defenders and tower guard. Like, these crossbows fuck up Zweihanders. It's really ugly. And so that sucks, right? So you can't use Zweihanders. And then if you went the Rangers route, these guys are going to fuck up Rangers too. We're late enough in the game where the fact that Rangers are resource cheap doesn't really matter as much. Man's gonna have enough resources to bring 150 of these guys, and 150 of these guys will trade crossbow bolts all day with twice as many Rangers. Just the shield matters a ton. So I think, and I'm not sure, I haven't done tests, but I was telling him I think the best troop for him to make is actually this one. It's cheap, has okay protection, has a Morning Star, which is going to do good against units with shields, which is nice because man has a lot of those. And it's got a big fucking tower shield. So it's going to be pretty good against crossbows. So these guys with like Legions of Steel on them, I think are going to be pretty much the best thing Ulm can do. The problem, though, is that man has mages too, and their mages are good. But the problem with that for man is Ulm has these guys who are 75 gold Astral 1 mages, or these guys who are 150 gold Astral 2, and both of them can magic duel. And Ulm can basically make it illegal for man to bring mages to the fight. And while that's not something Ulm would want to do, I think it's his best strategy is to, and this is what I told him, is to have black priests, especially the earth ones, do army, like Strength of Giants, Legions of Steel on big piles of these dudes. And use the Astral Mages to magic duel he cannot let man bring mages to fights. And if he does that, I think he's got a pretty good chance to win. So there's a world where Ulm starts beating man, which is very good for me as well. So if Ulm beats man, that's great for me. If man beats Ulm, that's not good for me, especially because Vaettiheim's not going to put down. But we'll try to make lemonade out of lemons here by taking over the Vaettiheim War ourselves. And basically getting a whole nation worth of stuff. Meanwhile, Arco is going to be researching up, so we're going to be a little bit on our own. But anyway, that's what's happening. So other interesting things, we're going to be forting this, because obviously we're going to want to fort here. I've got this one, my Death 4 moving down, because this also is going to be nice for twice boarding. And I'm probably going to twice born this Death 4. And we're going to just attack. If Vaettiheim doesn't get killed, this army's coming down and we're going to be attacking into Vaettiheim. And this guy's probably going to accompany us once we're going to have him summon a Tomb King next turn. But eventually this guy's probably I'll probably have to move another mage over here or something. But, because I need to keep a Death 3 here to summon Tomb Kings every turn, or every other turn. And anyway, but eventually this particular one will probably wander down here and help in the Vaettiheim War. So anyway, these guys are marching this way. We had this battle here with the trolls. We'll watch that. We failed in getting this leader killed. I was like, sure it would work. But I should have put the other guys on hold and attack, because they came in and they just murdered these guys in one hit. Trolls, if you didn't know, and that's why the reason I got them, is they have susceptible to fire, so they get wrecked fierce by flambeaus. So yeah, we're looking to build a fort here. So we got a scout coming out, we got a mage coming in to start summoning Tomb Kings. I have asked Ulm if he would pay me some gems to do this. And I'm getting what I think is not much. I'm getting 20 gems from him. He's sending me 10 death and 10 nature, which is a bargain for killing this army, because he's also going to be able to move on this fort and pop it. And I'm going to make it so that this army routes. And even if my god routes and the army doesn't, then he's going to normal phase move like the mages without the army on top of this, and the mages are going to die. So anyway, he's sending me some gems for the cost of this. And I think that's fair, because we're risking a lot here for something that's mostly going to benefit him, but just his and my interests are really aligned. So I don't really like doing this sort of thing, like just pissing off a player like Vaettiheim, but Vaettiheim can cast Illwinter. They're really hard to kill. I really am not excited about neighboring them, and this is the opportunity to put them out of the game, and I really don't want them in the game with me as the game goes on. Utgard is not great. They can also cast Illwinter, but the nation has burnt their scales to the ground. They don't have great research. They're all in on Garms. I know I can kill Garms. With enough Swarm casting and Skelly spam and Banefire, it's not going to be too hard. And Darkness. Darkness is going to fuck them too, because they don't have Dark Vision. And if they can't hit anything, the -6 to attack is a big deal. Especially when you combine that with a bunch of chaff summoning stuff, like my god can do Howl, so we could do Howl and Skelly spam and Swarm, and before you know it, the Garms will be completely overloaded. So there's of course other things Utgard can do, but they'd have really low research. They're really going to be crutching on Garms. I'm not really worried about them as the game goes on, nearly as much as I would be about a Vaettiheim. And like I said, I want the Sages. So, I think that's about it. Man's probably not going to be happy about us taking this turn. I think it's the Throne of Bureaucracy. I haven't asked him, but I think it's the Throne of Bureaucracy, which isn't great. But it's a wasteland that's a throne province, so there's probably sites here. I could try to site search it. It's like a silver lining. But yeah. If man is all in a tizzy about it, I may negotiate with them. They're not going to be happy about it, but I think they'll accept it. But we'll see. I think they were also moving this army up here to try to take this fort before I got to it. But I got to it first, and we have a nap, so they shouldn't attack me. And they wouldn't want to. They're about to go to war with Ulm. They don't want to be in a 2v1. And I'm more or less a free agent now. So a war with me would be really expensive. Research-wise, we're at 400 a turn, which is pretty low. A lot of that is because I had to spend... we wasted almost 60 research this turn. Getting casting Arouse Hunger and moving this guy down here. We got a lot of mages outside searching, not terribly efficiently. But it is what it is. We're going to move a scout over here so we get to see this battle this turn as they storm through. There's a chance this army just goes on top of Phlegra's cap, which I'm not excited about. I sent them a message in Discord and they haven't responded. So... I think I have to start making plans to eat and even if Ulm is winning against Vaettiheim, I need to make plans to sweep out this way. So this army is going to be coming over this way, and we're going to plan to come in. We're going to plan to come in here or here with this army, right? As we combine these, because we're storming this turn. There's nothing inside, so there's not much to think about for the scripting here. But we storm it this turn, and then. Yeah, it's gonna. These armies and these armies are gonna meet up, and either Ulm is failing and we attack to actually go to Vaettiheim's cap, or Phlegra's failing and we try to get a lot of the spoils of the. Like if Ulm is winning, we'll try to get the area north of Vaettiheim. So we'll come out and try to get this, and take it from Utgard. And I probably, because that may encourage conflict with Utgard, I may need to go and get my defense kit, which it's nothing super special. I'll just show you the items. I mean, we can make them now even, but we'd be making a bracer of protection and then 2 main gauches of parrying. That's basically it. And we'll have 4 earth income a turn, which is going to be really nice. The other thing we potentially want to do is empower our god in earth, because that's going to open up making golems, especially once we have a ring of wizardry or something. And our god can make the horror harmonica when we're rushing construction 8. So there's sense in that as well. Notably, I don't have a Holy 2 here making my little sacred serpents. So hopefully we'll be doing that shortly. I pulled the one from this army over here. So this army is going to be unblessed as it runs around, but that's fine. And yeah, I think that's about it, folks. We're at 35 minutes, so that's a good time to end the episode. Yeah, I hope you guys are enjoying it. Things are starting to heat up, like we're starting to get a decent amount of free spawn. And I need to run the math to figure out how much, if I really hunker down... I still want to make Sarumancers. I would research faster if I make Reborn, but Sarumancers are a really core part of the strategy, and it's a little... Reborn are not horrible. You get Death 2s, which are useful. And they're definitely going to research a lot faster than Sarumancers in Magic 2. But I'm not sure... I'm not sure if I want to do that. I think it's too greedy, I think. Especially with us going Construction Aid. We need to have shit that can fight. So... but what I'd like to do is math out, given how many Sarumancers I'm making a turn, given that I'm probably not going to send any more out site searching, what will my research growth be? And given that, when does it put me at Construction Aid? In fact, I'll do that real quickly. Let's see. We'll do the setup, and then I'll go pull up my calculator, and we can look at that. So we're going to be making 3/4 of one a turn from 3 forts. And then we're going to be making 1.5 of these guys a turn. So these guys research for 11 in Magic 2, and these guys research for 17. So 11 and 17. And right now, we'll say we're at 4. I'm doing some weird Magic phase thing, so we'll say I'm at 450 research a turn, because these guys who are doing Arouse Hunger are going to be back into it for the calculation. So let me pull up my research chart. All right, so this is my little spreadsheet that I use from time to time if I ever have to figure this out. So we started off at 450 a turn. Our new research a turn is going to be equal to 0.75 times 17, because that's how much Sarumancer's research a turn, plus 1.5 times 11, which how much our other guys do. So we're at 29 a turn. We'll call it 30. Because I'll probably at least get another fort. We're about to have another fort. We're about to have 2 more forts we steal. So this is going to be without the Sage Fort and things like that. The Sage Fort would increase this number to probably like, I want to say like 13. Yeah, so it'd be like up to 42. To get to 8, which we're currently at 2, so it's going to be equal to that minus this. We need 9,400. So it's right at 14 turns to get there, 15 turns to get to Construction 8. Now, in between there, if we get this up to 43 per turn, which we possibly could, that will put us in at... Well, that only pulls it in a turn, actually. So it's actually not a huge difference. Huh. Yeah. Huh. Okay. It's possible that the highest this number really could be is we could get up to, like, we get the Sages and the other one, the fort we get from Marignon. And once those are both bumping, let's say we get the Sages and we upgrade it to a Citadel. So that's going to be plus, we'll cut 14 a turn or something for the Sages. They research pretty well. And then that would be times like 1.5. And then plus the other fort is a Palisade. So we could say we just upgrade at 1 level to build a temple and shit. And then that would be, let's say we do 11 per turn from that. We can get up to like 60 a turn. If we get up to 60, that would be, this is like wet dream territory, not necessarily what's realistic for timings. But if we did that, it would be 12-ish turns. So it's going to be a while. Is the short answer. Probably closer to 15 turns. Maybe 14. Probably closer to 14 turns is my guess. So coming back to the game, that is going to mean it's going to be right around turn 40 that we get construction 8. And that's if things go well. Things can go sideways diplomatically. We can have to pull mages to go fight vaettiheim. A bunch of things can go badly. But Arco could turn on us. Bogarus could turn on us. Man is busy in a war, and we have a nap with them. I'm not really worried about them attacking us. Bogarus, Kailasa, or Patala has already said they want to help us if Bogarus does anything. And they probably want to help us even without that. Arco and I have signed a non-aggression pact 3 now, and we're very tight. He said it's going to be a while before he can go on Bogarus, so he's probably not going to be upset if I pick a little bit of a fight with vaettiheim. If I have to go full in on vaettiheim, it may delay the war with Bogarus, and that may annoy him some, but I think that's okay. Yeah. We'll see. There's a very good chance I lose my god, and that's going to suck. But if that doesn't happen and we knock vaettiheim out, it's going to be pretty... The other thing about losing my god is we'll lose our bless. The good thing about losing our god is I've got a decent number of priests. So, we can just turn off serpent production for a couple turns and call them back within like 3 turns. Probably. Maybe a little bit more. So, it's a small silver lining. And the other thing is I could just stop making mages and make these guys, because we're going to want to make a lot of these guys later as well, when we start doing our life after death stuff. So we could just go ahead and pop a bunch of them out real quick. They don't cost much, so that could help us get other infrastructure up, and we summon our god back that way. But I think our god's got a pretty good chance of running. The real risk is that our god runs, and we get this province blocked off. There's some other weird risks, like there could be a thug in there that I didn't see or something like that. But anyway, hope you guys are enjoying. We'll see you next time. Take care.